Alrighty, I'm starting it up. I'm gonna treat today as more of a pretty chill day in the world of Everteiz. I was planning on cleaning up some of this area because I have some future build plans that I want to do. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to gather some resources and clean up and just kind of chill and chat with whoever wants to. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. So, for those joining in and don't know too much about my world, I can't use iron, so I can't have a bucket. So cleaning up leaves is very much a pain in this world. But I think it's a necessary thing to do. um, I'm gonna just stream and clean up the islands and the kind of the areas of my world, and once I get it cleaned, kind of shape the terrain a little bit. Well, like get rid of some like sand areas, maybe some of the stone, and kind of get it set up for some future episodes that I want to make and builds that I'm gonna get working on before too long. That's kind of what I'm planning on doing. Playing Skyblock right now. Nice. I've actually never tried Skyblock before, but I do find that to be a very entertaining challenge. I've seen people do that here and there. Oh, I need to get a bed. I do not want to be just wandering around with no armor and not have a way to fall asleep. Actually, I think I placed my bed over here. At least I hope so. Yeah, there it is. Actually, I think I might start over here. This might be a better spot to do some more cleaning. This was like a big, giant opening that I covered a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I have definitely have some plans for the future. Yeah, I'm currently in the voice recording for my next video for Everteiz, and I'm gonna get some couple builds up, and I'm pretty excited for that. And then I think I just finished a Mob World video that I released on Friday or no, Saturday, and I'll be continuing doing that one. I eventually want to make a house for every single mob in that world. Hi, welcome in. This will be a pretty chill stream as I clean up some of the not so graceful looking areas of my map. And just kind of chatting with whoever wants to join. But man, having copper tools finally, being able to mine out all these stone over here, that's gonna be a lot better than previous times when I was just using stone tools. Oh, this was a bigger tree than I thought. This also went a lot farther down than I thought. I need to cover this up. Actually, let me grab that pickaxe as well. But yeah, I've been doing pretty good. It's been pretty hot where I'm at, so trying to stay cool in this summer weather, at least here in the States. Trying to make sure my PC doesn't overheat with all this crazy hot weather. Yeah, yeah. I think a couple of my videos um, started getting a little bit of traction, so there might be a couple more people in the stream. That's crazy. That's a lot of dirt. What do you plan on doing with the dirt? Well, that'd be pretty cool. Always like a good old mountain in Minecraft. So just to kind of get you guys kind of figuring out what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna gather some dirt and kind of like carve out this little section and kind of make it swoop into the ocean and kind of cover these sections and kind of remove like the top layer of stone and gravel and stuff. Make the areas look more all grassy, more or less. That's kind of the idea of what I got going. And while I'm doing that, I think I'm just gonna chit chat with whoever and kind of talk about my thoughts about the series that I'll be making, or I could talk about anything really. You can also complain about how fast stone breaks in this game. Yeah, slabs can be pretty interesting to navigate. If only they would make vertical slabs, that would unlock a huge portion of building. Alright, I'm gonna need a lot more shovels. This is gonna take a hot minute. Yeah, there are shelves, and I do in fact actually use these shelves quite a bit for that exact purpose. The only problem with the shelves though is like you have to kind of arrange them in a certain way to have it kind of work. But yeah, I use them a lot for sure. I think maybe almost every single build I've made use shelves in some way. Okay, how do I want to go about? I'm gonna start it here. And just cap this off. All right, well, you take care and you have a good one, and I'll chat with you next time. But yeah, I kind of want to make this not a death zone when I do plan on coming back here. I do not want to fall. That was just one piece of copper. But yeah, so I've been working on some videos for my YouTube, and I'm working on the next Everteiz video, kind of like my storyline projects. And I'm gonna go kind of like a different route with this next video that I got going. I'm gonna do some more voice acting, and see how that goes, and see how the reception overall pans out. I've actually looked at some videos on how to do some voice acting just so I can sound like different characters when recording. Kind of just curious how that will play out and see if I can actually portray multiple characters. I don't know. Just kind of experiment, see what sticks. I feel like that's a big portion of the YouTube journey when making videos, is kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Most of the times, especially like being very small content creator, most of the times you you don't know it works because there's not a ton of people watching. Oh, well, thank you. Welcome to the stream. What was I saying? Yeah, it's kind of interesting, being kind of like not saying no one's watching you, but when you have such a small amount, it's very intriguing to try to navigate what works, what doesn't. So every little bit, like every comment, every like, every dislike, is a very big signal. Being a small YouTuber slash Twitch streamer, and yeah, it's just been kind of engaging and entertaining to try to figure out what works best for an audience and like the different platforms. And then not only that, but also what works for me, because I'm a very mellow, chill person, and I'm not a scream in your face kind of a content creator. And so that's a kind of like an interesting way to navigate the space as a whole, because there's always these people that are trying to get everyone's attention in a very loud way, and I just don't really want to be a part of that. I more want to almost feel like a audiobook um, narrator in a way, where it can be just kind of comforting and listening to and whatnot, but not quite a cozy game. I mean, I guess I could be a cozy gamer, but I'm gonna be mainly playing Minecraft, which I guess is considered a cozy game. But I also want to kind of grow as a streamer as well, and play some other variety games on the weekends when I'm not heavily into my content creation flow. Um, that's kind of the idea, is have more or less the weekdays, working a 9 to 5 job, and then trying to edit a video when I'm not working that, and then get a video out, and then kind of stream something fun that's not related to. I mean, sometimes I might stream Minecraft on the weekends, but just to kind of decompress and do something else. And that's kind of what the workflow is currently for me. I'll see how it goes. But if it goes really well and I'm able to go full time, I think I'll definitely stream more often and change the type of games I'm playing and switch around and have fun with it. But who knows? But anyway, enough about just thinking out loud on that part. But yeah, with my Minecraft videos, um, yeah, I'm really excited to kind of like change this whole place up. Um, I got some big plans. One person commented on one of my videos saying that the Okerton district doesn't quite feel like a village because there's not a lot of structures. Maybe add some small little huts here and there. And I kind of like that idea. So I'm actually going to do that before too long and make that more filled out. And then kind of the same with this rest of this area of Kaibrileon and the Skyfall district. And then really focused on the story and kind of see this kingdom grow, more or less, one block at a time. And then while doing that, I'm going to try to balance my other YouTube series that I've been trying to work on, which is called Mob World, where I'll be making a house or a structure for every single mob in the game. And then recently I came up with a new idea that might still be in the oven for a while, but I'm going to create another world that it's going to be called like my creative graveyard, and it's going to kind of house all my ideas that I can't really just do for this world or mob world, like my ideas that just can't fit. So I'm kind of excited to see how that turns out, and probably towards the end of the stream I might show that off. I did start out that world, and for anyone's over here, gets a little sneak peek to see what that is. But yeah. And one thing I could definitely do while it's pretty quiet over here, I can talk about my hopes and dreams and thoughts of the future. Uh, One thing really hope I can do someday is hopefully grow big enough with the YouTube space to eventually collab with some people from the Hermitcraft. That is a big dream of mine. They are pretty big Minecrafters, and I would love to talk to Scar or Joel someday. I think that would be really neat. Um, do I think that will actually happen? There's a small chance. I doubt it, but I can definitely dream and hope one day that would be uh, something that could come into reality. But yeah, that is a hope and a dream of mine. And I think if I just keep at it, maybe I might have a chance eventually. That's kind of the idea. But until then, I definitely want to improve my storytelling, my editing, my building techniques. There's so much I want to get better at and learn. I think that's kind of like a fun little aspect of life, though, is you always have the ability to learn, no matter how old or how young you get. Well, okay, you can't really get younger, but you get the idea. It doesn't matter what age, you always have the ability to learn, and I think that's a pretty valuable aspect of being a human, is having that ability. And if you get the drive for a passion of any thing that you want to pursue or do in life, having that ability to absorb or learn it, it can be pretty valuable. Whether it's like, you want to learn a new language, or you want to get better at drawing. Oh, I need more pickaxes. But yeah, I would definitely say it's a definitely take advantage of all the things in life. Whether you come through an opportunity of experiencing a new type of job, or if you're in school, a certain class that you're kind of thinking yes or no about, like take advantage of those different aspects. I remember back when I was in college, or if you're not in the U.S., I think they call it uni. But I took a movie class, and I know a lot of people, they took it kind of like as a blow off class and not to actually learn. But that was actually one of my favorite classes to ever be a part of, because I learned actually a decent amount. I don't know how much it's going to be useful to my day to day, but the stuff I learned was very entertaining, and stuff that I actually do take into account when like making content creation or just miscellaneous things, because it's like you kind of learn from the teachings, even if it's simply learning about cinematics from film. It was a pretty good class. I really enjoyed it. I mean, there's art to filmmaking, and it's when trying to make like a video like I do, I find it something that I try to do to make it feel more cinematic. Um, Not to be more impressive, but more to just have like a vibe or a feeling when I make a video. And I would say that's been probably one of my biggest joys of starting this world and like streaming it and posting videos, just being able to kind of express that creativity in a different way that I haven't been able to just simply playing the game otherwise. It has been a tremendous joy, that's for sure. And I'm really glad that, we have Minecraft Java Edition. I mean, yes, it's the original, but the fact that it is very um, mod worthy, or things you can alter to change the gameplay how you want to, have mods like my favorite, which is Flashback right here, to do that um, and like almost play theater in a way, just kind of having cinematics. I don't know, it's really fun, and it brings out the inner child in me of making like a movie. And I just kind of want to express that when I do my videos and things. I mean, it's definitely a lot harder in a live stream, and I think with my live streams, I kind of want to just have more of a relaxing experience overall, um, and have just like a place for people to just chill and hang out and listen while I slowly grow this kingdom. That's kind of the goal. Ooh, I want that cult. But yeah, I'm not in a. I mean, obviously, if I've spent 500 plus days without getting iron, I'm definitely not in a rush for anything in this game. Was that was my last pickaxe? Okay. Well, let me go make a new one real quick. But I kind of like the idea of, um, if someone were to come and find my videos and stop watching for a while and then come back, they can um, be like, oh yeah, I can slowly see the vision and how things evolve over time. Almost like, the real world when a city or something gets pretty built up and you come back after being gone for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, when did they install that? I think that'd be pretty neat. Now, where did those? I was mining those coal. Where did that? Oh, there it is. I use so many torches in my gameplay, so all the coal I can find is going to be used. And it'll be a pretty long time before I actually get enchanting, but it would be nice to have fortune, because then I can practically double my profits when it comes to like mining coal and copper. I also have a newfound appreciation for copper because of just how often I use it now. It could easily be my new favorite. I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know if like Mojang would be able to even see it, but I wonder how many people have used copper tools since they've released them, at least in a like meaningful capacity. Like it's not just a, because I feel like even people would go from straight stone to iron as soon as possible in most worlds. So like even after the update that they're added. So yeah, I'm kind of curious, like how often do people would they actually use copper tools? That is actually moving to Java. That has been one of my favorite things is looking at the numbers of my own, like what I'm doing. So like my statistics of just seeing, okay, how many axes did I break? That's always a joy for me because I'm a numbers person. Not in like a smart math way, but just I like seeing the different numbers and what they mean. Because those are always kind of questions like, man, how many pieces of dirt did I place? And I can kind of go back and be like, wow, I've placed X amount of dirt blocks in this entire world. And I find that fascinating, especially like when you've been on a world for a very long time and you can kind of like compare stats. When I learned that from the Hermitcraft server, when they did that towards the end of one of their seasons and they were comparing different stats of like, okay, how many gold blocks have you picked up? And they would have like a little challenge. I was like, man, that's really cool. And at the time I was like a bedrock only player. So that was really cool to finally get into that as I made the switch. One thing I've actually thought about doing in this world is actually making a dirt shop, like creating a character who is, I don't quite want to say obsessed with dirt because we already have like a character that's kind of like obsessed with stuff, and it's gonna be Matthews over there with the torches. But someone who collects dirt, and that way I can have like a central location to store all my different dirt blocks, and maybe they get like really excited when I discover like rooted dirt, which is not a renewable resource. Well, I guess technically dirt is not renewable, at least not to my knowledge. But you know, there's dirt everywhere, so not quite the same as rooted dirt, where I feel like you can only find those above lush caves, if I remember right. But yeah, those are really fantastic for path making. So if I made like a shop with a character that like really enjoyed like path making and dirt, I think that'd be a kind of a cool concept that I can do in the future. Problem is, what kind of shop could I make that kind of shows off someone is really excited about dirt or like has a passion for dirt? I don't know. Maybe a thought for the future. Because I also feel like it's got to fit the narrative that I've been developing as well. Hey, how's it going? My plan is actually cleaning up uh my area. Um, I've noticed when I'm making some videos, there's some less desirable areas for long, nice shots. So I was actually planning on kind of chatting and uh yeah, cleaning up the whole Kaibrileon area. And then once I get that done, depending on how much time or what I'm feeling, I was going to show off actually a new world that I'm starting that's I'm calling my creative graveyard, and it's going to like showcase things that I have ideas but that just don't fit with a survival world. But yeah, that's what I plan on doing. By the way, dirt is actually renewable by crafting it into coarse dirt. But isn't that coarse dirt not necessarily dirt though? Or can you change coarse dirt into dirt? Also, isn't coarse dirt like made with quartz or something like that? Because I feel like that's a little not the greatest use of quartz. Oh, okay, you turn into a path block. That makes sense. I feel like that would be a pain to do that in mass quantities though. But I guess it technically makes it renewable. Is gravel renewable? Because if gravel is not renewable, then eventually dirt would become. I mean, granted, you can just always load new chunks in a normal world. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Which Skyblock seems pretty fun, but really like that and Flat Worlds, it seems like very limiting. I watched like Mog Swamp. I think that's how you pronounce it, and it's pretty admirable that he's been on Flat World for what 14 plus years. That's pretty ridiculous. But I guess everything you see in his world is hand built into something crazy. But then again, I've also seen him complain many times that he doesn't get to uh, use the features that come out with new updates because it doesn't exist in a flat world. And I'm just like, ooh, I wouldn't want to do that. I like exploring and using new features, which I am so excited for the new update cushions and the Dapper Forest. Yeah, I'm all here for it. Oh, I'm running out of space. Because I'm thinking, like, the cushions, that gives you so much for just the creativity aspect. And then I always love having a brand new wood type. Um, I know there's a whole community that's like, ah, we're tired of getting new trees. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Getting new trees is amazing because that basically just opens a new color palette for building. And with having, because this one's going to be gray, I want to see if I have any examples. But trap doors only exist with trees. And same thing with like fence post. Well, I think there's nether bricks, but Um, yeah, fence post, trapdoors, uh, the gates, having a new color to decorate your builds. And I wonder if they're actually like slowly adding uh basically the entire rainbow spectrum, because we just now got uh, a gray with the poplar and we got white from the Pell Garden. It's like, okay, that's two dye colors that are marked off. So when are we getting green trees? That's all I'm asking. Because we got, the blue trees and red trees through the nether. Could we get like some green trees if we got an end update? It's a theory. It's actually a game theory. Yellow trees, yeah. I feel like poplar trees kind of fit it, but not quite. Or not poplar, birch. They're kind of like a very uh, banana looking. I don't know. I don't know my colors. But yeah, some purple and green trees that would absolutely unlock a whole new range of building techniques and to builds. I mean, considering they just add the stairs, like the concrete stairs and wool stairs and slabs, which adds another like shade and variety of building. It's like, yeah, green and purple trees just around the corner. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, a magic biome. I feel like isn't that kind of what people want from like the Aether? Like the idea of having a sky biome. Is that what some people would want as a magic biome? I mean, I would definitely be down. I also heard a rumor that their Mojang's been on a whole giant like retexturing a lot of confusing items. So like the latest one being maps, like for the like Woodland Mansion, uh, and all these things that you would find from villages. The maps would actually be retextured so you can see what they are. And we had like, I don't know how long ago, but the potions, because those were really confusing. And so someone was saying probably enchanted books are next. And if they do that, that would be really cool. And I wouldn't mind if they added a few more or even made magic systems. I feel like it would actually fit in the Minecraft world if they just ever decide to like make a wand or something and have some spells. I never know what they're thinking, but it's always exciting when they come up with new things, especially when it comes to building or a new mechanic that can really just revolutionize the overall game. I like the joke they added one block. They do a lot with it. Yeah. I don't know if they'll do a big village though, but that would be very interesting. I think I mean I definitely feel like they will do something with villages in the future for sure. I don't know what, but I know they should probably add the other biome villages because you can get jungle and swamp. Yeah, jungle and swamp villages in the game, or villagers, not villages. But you can get those type of villagers, and so it'd be kind of cool if they added those type of villages into the game somehow. I don't think they would call it that. Considering this is a game made for everyone. Yeah. There would definitely be people that would make that joke. Oh, don't be a lightning storm. I always get nervous in this world for lightning storms because literally everything is made out of wood. And if you didn't know, for anyone watching, I literally progress in this world with the story for the YouTube videos I make. And I haven't learned how to make a lightning rod in the YouTube series, so I can't use lightning rods. So if it were to lightning, I try to sleep as fast as possible so none of my builds actually catch on fire, considering more than 80% of everything I've built in this world is wood. But going back to like the biomes, I think a yellow biome, if they had like actual like really yellow trees, that would fit like pretty well with a magical biome. Like have some really tall trees. Maybe add some butterflies. That's actually another thing I can talk about quite often is the lack of like creatures in the Minecraft game, like just normal creatures. Um, I think they could definitely add a lot more. Definitely give it like a little bit more ambience if you added some more creatures. Like definitely birds, I think is one that would be I would prefer, because I think it would be really nice just to hear them chirping off in the distance. I mean, we have parrots, but they're only in jungles. But yeah, I think having birds would be pretty cool. But yeah, butterflies. What else? I wouldn't want to add like too many aggressive creatures, because then that um, can be kind of like an annoyance. Like I don't want snakes or sharks. Also, I'm not a big fan of underwater, so sharks would be a big no for me personally. Drowns riding a nautilus is already dangerous enough, especially if they had a Triton. No, I'd be absolutely terrified if they added a giant squid. I bet there's like a mod for it. Um, there's a YouTuber that's getting pretty big with their Minecraft videos. I think their username is Whiffy or something along those lines. And they recently made a video talking about a Leviathan in the game. And man, if there was something like that, that would be utterly terrifying. I think I would have a hard time going in the water. Orcas are actually like, I want to say pretty vicious in real life. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know if I want to come across one of those, because those could be actually pretty big, and in real life can be kind of scary. Oh. Well, I don't have the world's most knowledgeable on sea creatures because I don't like being anywhere near the ocean. I like being on the beach, and that's about it. And I like being able to see my feet. If I can't see my feet, I don't like going in the water. And that also extends to video games too. Shape this a little bit more. Oh, actually, if I were to change anything, because I'm seeing these guys over here. So we have tropical fish. Why not add like more fish categories? Because I'm thinking if you've ever played Animal Crossing, how cool it'd be to have like certain fish in certain biomes that you could catch, and you can kind of like treat it like a collection of getting different types of fish from different areas. There's like sea basses in rivers, but they don't spawn in oceans. That would be a cool overhaul, honestly. Give a little bit more of an incentive to actually go fishing too, because I feel like a lot of people don't actually use the fishing rod. And on those same lines, why not just add more insects and add a bug catcher if you really want to go full Animal Crossing? Okay. Yep, I got some more dirt. No ants. But what if they're like really, really tiny? You know, they just like crawl. I mean, we already have spiders. I would argue spiders are more creepy than ants. Although spiders are actually pretty helpful in real life. As far as I know. Again, I'm not a creature or animal expert by any means. Mosquitoes in real life, though, those can be quite frustrating. That would be kind of like a funny feature, though, if you added mosquitoes. Because playing Animal Crossing, they have like the little, you know, high pitched sound, and if they get nearby, you can find a way to swat them. A 5% chance to bite you at night. Yeah. Honestly, like variants are probably the easiest thing they could do across the board, considering that they've made, like with the last winter drop, they made what the camel husk and the um, zombie horse and parched. Like, what if they did that with other hostile mobs and had like more zombie variants and more skeleton variants and spiders? It's like, yeah, right now there's only two, being cave and normal. Give you a 0.1% chance to give you disease. Yeah. Well, I think in speaking of spiders and like a real low chance, I think some spiders in the Java edition of Minecraft have the ability to spawn in with effects. So there's like a possible like invisible spider that can spawn. I think that's really cool. I don't know if I've actually encountered too many of those. I think I've encountered one before, but I really like the concept of it. But yeah, with skeletons and zombies, someone I saw the other day pointed out, with different variations. Um, so we have like the swamp uh, skeleton being the bog. So we need like a swamp version of zombies, and same thing with how there's strays. Now we need cold zombies because we have uh, both a desert zombie and a desert skeleton. Got to make it even. Another thing I was thinking about when discussing biomes, I think a good natural biome that I think a lot of people actually want is a volcano biome. I think it'd be really easy to implement too. Well, if you didn't want variants of those, would you rather like Enderman and Creeper variants? But yeah, I think a volcano every once in a while would be really cool. And even if it's not like an active volcano, just simply like having a giant mountain in the distance like that, and then you go up to the top, and then there's like a giant crater, and it's just full of lava. I think that'd be really cool. Ooh, nether variants. I feel like they would never actually make uh, creeper variants just because of how much people hate that they can blow up the stuff that you built. I think it'd be kind of fun, but I understand why there would be probably a little bit of backlash if people actually did make creeper variants, especially like in the nether where they didn't exist prior. But I think it'd be kind of funny, like a red creeper or something. I don't know if they would make it like a block one. I think they would be more biome lock. Have a reverse creeper that builds around you. I feel like that's what Endermen do with dirt. I find it funny that there's like a lot of big YouTubers that will install like a mod to make it where creepers can't place or take blocks away because they'll just have creepers that slowly take away a build and something. I find that pretty funny. Well, I think the thing about stone and deep slate is they have like a different blast radius. So instead of like having a stone creeper or deep slate creeper, maybe having, I mean, there is such thing as a supercharged creeper. So maybe we can do something like that. Although a supercharged creeper is very much on the player to basically choose that, unless they're extremely unlucky. Um, but that would be kind of interesting. I think what would be more terrifying. I mean, you got in the Nether, you do have gas that do shoot um, explosives at you. So there is, I guess, kind of a creeper equivalent in the Nether in a way. That's even worse because it floats around. I think the hard part would be actually like implementing a balance system with um, any type of new type of creature or variant that you add to the game, because you don't want people that are playing on long-term worlds feel defeated. Granted, they did make the Phantom, so I don't know. They could do that. Oh, okay. So they're just, yeah. I mean, that could be a possibility. Just break like deep slate better, but actually worse when it comes to stone. I think if they were to actually create a creeper variant that was themed after Deep Slate, I think they would do it around the ancient city. I feel like that would be something that they could do. I think the ancient city is, especially that mysterious portal, is very underutilized, and they're really ramping it up in the marketing for dungeons. So I feel like it would just be the perfect time to honestly bring it into uh, the base game somehow. I don't know if they are actually going to make it like a different dimension or do something different. I would like to see the ancient city portal do something, because it exists in everyone's world currently, but there's nothing to do with it. If you were to make a spider variant in Minecraft, what type of variant would you make? I know you, uh, Samurai, you said a tarantula, but I think it would be kind of interesting if you had them also be biome, um, like they inhabit like a colder biome would have a colder type spider, like a blue spider or something, have like a different element. Going back to the whole magic idea, it'd be kind of cool to have different effects. Like if you had fire aspect or something that would work better for like ice mobs and then fire mobs, I think that'd be kind of cool. A trapdoor spider? Is that like a real term in real life, or is that like talking about Minecraft trapdoor? Because I don't think I've heard of this. That just sounds terrifying, honestly. But yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool if they added elements to the game. rather than just have fire aspect, but add like a variety. Huh. That's interesting. I don't know if I've heard that type of spider. It's kind of cool. I don't know how you would implement that in like Minecraft since, you know, spiders are quite big. And a trapdoor spider, like, would it lift up a block and hide under it? They did talk about the concept of like a hidden mob when they were creating the Phantom. Honestly, I'm glad they didn't implement the other mobs from that mob vote, because like the barnacle and what was the tentacle or something, I can't remember. That just sounds utterly terrifying. Because I want to say the tentacle hid underwater and the barnacle hid in sand for unsuspecting players. Yeah, having a spider hide from you, that would be pretty scary, for sure. I bet that would be great for a mod. Oh my goodness, there is so much stone. um, but yeah, having different variants. I honestly really enjoy when they add pretty much anything to the game. But one thing I think would be really cool if they could add um, more mob heads. Because you know, when you get a charged creeper and explode either a piglin, another creeper, zombie, or skeleton, it would drop its head. I really wish they would do that for pretty much everything. Because me being a huge collector, I think it would be real like a fun challenge to collect them all. I've seen like a ton of mod packs and stuff out there where people do like exactly that, but I would like it to be part of vanilla. I think that would be really cool. And if they don't do it like for just any old mob, like the like passive ones, at least like do it for all the hostile ones. Because I find that it would be a really fun challenge. Although I wouldn't want every single mob head to be acquired through a charged creeper. I think that would be a kind of like a pain to do that so often. Yeah, I still haven't. When I played on the PS5 on Bedrock, I never got a piglin head just because of how difficult it was getting a charged creeper into the nether without blowing up, and then blowing up on the piglin that you wanted. I will try it eventually in this world, but it'll be a while before I go to the nether. Um, but yeah, I think it'd be really cool if they could add like all the different mob heads. And I think spider, speaking of spiders, would be honestly the next natural pick if they ever did another one. I also feel like they're just a great decoration tool. I've seen some pretty creative ways that people have used mob heads before. cover this section up so I don't have to clean it up. Also, these guys out here in the distance would be another one. That would be pretty good if they drop their head. Although, I don't know if evokers and pillagers are very much different in the head, so I guess you would have to find some way to separate them if they ever were to drop their head. Also, since we have the Ender Dragon, like you can get it through in-ships, I feel like it would be also pretty cool if you can get the Wither and the Warden to drop their heads somehow. I'm actually gonna cut this, make it look, go down a step. Once I get full netherite enchanted gear, this cleaning up process is going to take me probably 1/4 of the time it does nowadays. But I also enjoy taking the game slower, at least for a little bit. Yeah, like a have like a overworld dragon. Would you have it have multiple colors? Because I could see we can go like a green dragon for the overworld and then a red dragon for the nether. Obviously, you would have to defeat the Ender Dragon first before you can spawn one in the overworld. I feel like that would only make sense. Maybe bring like, when you have the dragon egg, you're able to hatch a new one. Because right now the dragon egg is basically just a trophy type item in the game. Oh, so you're basically like making it into Skyrim, that they'll just, you'll be playing the game and you just hear them out in the distance and then they're there. Get the epic dragon music playing when they're nearby too. Have a villager come scream that they have an arrow in their knee. Man, I want to have Elder Scrolls 6 come out. It's what, how many years? It was 2011 since Skyrim came out. So that's going to be 15 years since we've had the next installment, mainline installment of an Elder Scrolls game. That's insane. Honestly, when it comes to game development, I'm actually pretty satisfied that Minecraft like has regular updates. I mean, we like to speculate and kind of judge and criticize sometimes their updates, but the fact that they update the game so often is a lot better, you can say, than most AAA titles with their games. I think I watched a video today talking about this game called Star Citizen. And it's a game that it's been in development for like 14 years and it's technically not out. That's ridiculous. Granted, that game is pretty unique in how it's all done, but still, game development, it takes so long for anything to come out nowadays. Oof. Yeah, goodness. I also feel like the hype about Elder Scrolls 6, like the longer it takes to make that game, the more I feel like it will never meet the like what I would want it to actually be, like the expectations for a game like that. it's it's just going to be beyond what they could actually do. And I feel like honestly like GTA 6 coming out before too long is going to be kind of in a similar boat where it's like how are they going to actually hit the expectations that fans have because of how long it's been in development for these type of games. That's why I feel like Mojang they play it pretty safe. Get it like a little tiny. They give you cushions, and we're happy. I mean, granted, I mean, yeah, it's a joke, but I'm really excited for the cushions. Rain again? Goodness. Okay, well, it's not a thunderstorm yet. What would be a really funny feature is if they added a flooding in Minecraft. Like if it rains too much, like the water level on the ocean just like raises a block every time it rains. That would be a if they don't actually add that to the main game, that'd be a fun like little mod or like a gameplay mode. Like add it just being a little bit more restricting, like an actual survival game. I bet there's probably a mod out there. I know like with shaders, there's a lot of shaders I've seen out there that make it look like the environment's pretty wet when it rains. I think that would be something cool in vanilla, honestly, if they added something like that when it's raining, like the ground looks actually wet. Oh, I've heard of RL Craft. I haven't like seen too many videos, but I've seen like just clips here and there and what I've heard through the rumor mill. It seems like a fun like play it once kind of deal. I don't know if I would actually enjoy it because I think the clip I saw was someone played a lot of Minecraft and they're like, okay, well, it's a new Minecraft game. Let me go punch some trees. And then the tree like came to life and came after him and killed him. I was like, goodness. That's pretty rough. You can't do much in the game. Or either that or he punched the tree and the tree just fell over and killed him, but I was like, man, that's rough. Oh, it's wrong. Yeah. I might have to try that out at some point or another. It seems like a fun like afternoon. Alright, it's slowly going away. Oh man. Without a beacon, this takes so long. And then I go through tools like crazy. I'm curious actually, where am I at in the amount of broken tools? Almost 300 in stone shovels. Yeah, I think the shovels might take the cake on that one. I'm up to 23. I kind of wish I knew like the world record of like how often someone uses copper tools, because I think if I stayed on copper for a long time, I could probably hit the world record of breaking the most copper pickaxes or copper tools just by sheer like there's not a lot of people that use them. Oh, I'm even out of my copper ingots. Well, oh, that's not where those go. I think it's time to go to the mine. Or the dwarf base. Where did I put that coal? I feel like this is what life was like before Elytra. I never played Minecraft when it was that old. Or, yeah, when it was like 1.8, I think it was the number. I bet everyone probably just made horse passes and minecarts everywhere. I could imagine. I've only seen just a select videos of Minecraft prior to when I've played. I can just imagine how long it took. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Elytra makes the games too easy. But if you start making bigger projects, you're going to need Elytras. That's for sure. Yeah, I got plenty in here. Just take a stack. Put some coal in there. I almost feel bad collecting my levels because I know that I can't use them and that I'll probably die many times before I even get to the point where I have the ability to use levels, because I think it's only basically through enchanting and like anvils, like the only things that you would use levels for. Is there a crafting table in here? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just already stock up on a couple of pickaxes. I'll probably do this for maybe another 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna go to that other project that I'm working on to show you guys. One thing I do miss about Bedrock is mobs, like especially like the I think it's mainly with passive mobs. They spawn wherever, like at any point. So it like doesn't matter where you're at. I do miss that because then I don't feel bad about just literally attacking a cow or pig wherever for meals. But here it's like that's the only one that spawns. And it's like, oof. It's like a sacred pig. Because I think pigs breed with carrots, and I don't have carrots yet, so like I don't want to kill any of the pigs in my world. At least not yet. I feel like, you know, the pigs they're only useful for pork chops, but once you get a farm in the nether to kill hoglins, you get plenty of pork chops that way. Whereas cows, you get leather, and you can use leather for all sorts of things. So they'll always be useful. Leather armor, item frames. There's probably something else I'm forgetting. And then sheep. Granted, you can just once you get shears, you can just constantly shear them for the wool, but you know they come with wool that is pretty valuable for banners and blocks and soon to be stairs and slabs. Maybe that's why Mojang doesn't add more passive mobs, because it incentivizes the killing of animals. That's probably exactly why. I mean, they made armadillos. They don't drop anything when you kill them. They only drop something when you brush them, which is a odd mechanic. I do want to fix this little section real quick. Just hide those stones. If you could add one real animal to Minecraft, what would it be? And what would they do? Because I think penguins would have been really cool, but I also like the features that they talked about that the crab could have brought. I'm very curious to see what like an extended reach would have been. goodness. I've used all my dirt again, too. This is why I feel like dirt should have an easier way to be renewable. Elephants. Now that would be pretty crazy. So you're saying like kind of treat them like llamas and like a giant pack mule, have them like haul your stuff over. That'd be kind of cool though, especially if you could like ride them and they're like huge. Would you, if they had to go into a biome, would you put them in the savannah? To me, I feel like that or the jungle. I guess depending on the elephant. But that would be probably the best fit biome wise. Yeah. It was actually one of my favorite games as a kid that they're actually remastering. One of the cool features, it was like a fighting game. It was called Dynasty Warriors, and you could ride horses, but there was like a secret level that you could get where you unlocked elephants to ride instead of horses, and that was always a fun thing to do. Actually, really excited for that game to come out again. They're remastering like the one from my childhood. I think it was my first rated T game. That might date me a little, but yeah, it was a great game. Okay, well, I think I've made everyone here watch me clean up an island, or I guess this isn't the island, that's the island. Clean up this area for long enough. So I'm gonna show everyone some of the cool things I've been working on. After I just put up some of this material, I'll go hop over to the other place. And let me just get rid of some of the leaves. All right, cool. Okay, so I made 2 worlds. Hopefully my frame rate doesn't drop, but I am using oh, what mod is it called? To see pretty far in the distance. But I had the idea of making like I said, um, a creative graveyard. This is where ideas I can just create stuff that wouldn't align with my survival series or my mob world. So I made this world where everything is the Pale Garden. So it definitely gives, a kind of like a spooky vibe, graveyard, and like overgrown. So yeah, it's completely Pale Garden. And then I think if so I have this mod that like does like a LOD, so it spawns or it like keeps all my chunks somewhat rendered. at a distance. So like once I discover the chunk, it stays in for a while. So like if I go over here, now it's popped in and I can still see forever. And I really like that because like one of the things I want to do with this project is make some really big builds. One thing I was thinking of doing is like adding swords and other things like on a big giant scale or statues, and with being able to see them from afar, I think it'd be really cool. So I actually started one, and the other one, because I made a second one that's large biomes instead of just one single biome. I need to freeze the time, but it's right now. That's a giant jungle. If I remember commands, I'm still pretty new to them. Okay, there. Now it's daytime. But if I go up, you can see where I started over there. But here's kind of the idea. So I made a Pokemon, Voltorb, and the idea is like just making massive statues in here in either one, and I can just make them look like just abandoned ginormous statues. And then I'm actually in the process of making a short slash reel where I come out of the trees and I just see a giant Pokemon statue. So yeah, this is kind of like, I plan on these two worlds being just a place where I can make anything that just doesn't really fit with the other two worlds. So I plan on making like license IP stuff like Pokemon or Kingdom Hearts Keyblades, have them ginormous and sticking out of the ground. Um, there's all sorts of things I can do. And I think it would just be fun to do here and there. There's like a lot of anime stuff that I'm into that I think would be really fun to make. But yeah, maybe have suggestions from people that watch and do stuff like that. Honestly, I've never played on large biomes, but it seems really cool. Probably pretty annoying to actually play on survival with the amount of just stuff, or like just how big it is to cross everywhere. But I've been watching this one streamer. Uh, oh, gotta save the forest. Um, he's he makes a lot of anime structures, and he's like currently working on the Hokage village, and it looks really cool. But he's like a very technical Axiom and world edit Minecrafter, so that's kind of like where I've gotten the idea. Do you like? Oh yeah, yeah. We're talking about the exact same person. That's funny. I didn't even look at your chat until just now. But yes, yeah. Stan616, I think, is his username. That's exactly what I'm planning on doing, but in more of a like a smaller format where I'm not spending a whole month on one type of build, because he's been working on the Leaf Village for over a month. Yeah, that's another thing I want to get into is TikTok lives, because I can multi-stream. Uh, Man, a fire in a giant forest would be terrible. Um, but yeah, I want to TikTok live just to get more exposure. but I think to TikTok Live you have to have like 1,000 followers. So I don't know. It might be a minute before I'm able to do that. I think there is a way you can actually do it sooner, but you need to use their program to stream through. And I kind of want to use OBS and not use TikTok's stuff. So, but I do feel like TikTok is great for discoverability, but it's real short attention spans for anyone who actually spends any time on TikTok. But yeah, it's kind of fun, honestly, learning the different types of platforms and like what people go to the platform for. Like where Twitch, there's a lot of people that will spend more time on Twitch, and YouTube, the more video focused, and then TikTok is that fast, couple seconds of a video until you moved on to the next one. Yeah, real annoying to set up. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm like. I like the convenience. I do have the ATM plugin on OBS where I'm able to do a vertical stream. I think technically on Twitch you can watch me in vertical. Oh, there's a jungle temple. Um, but since I don't have a face cam, I just have like this awkward black box on the bottom. And so that's another thing I'm kind of waiting for is uh, I'm gonna buy some camera equipment and eventually like show my face while streaming. And I think that would also be a nicer fit in the vertical platform. But yeah, so it might be a little bit before I get that under the way. But yeah, that's something I definitely want to do. That's actually a great idea. I might just do that. That sounds hilarious. Get some torches in here just to explore. I don't know why I kept structures turned on for this world. There's definitely no need for structures in a total creative world. But here we are. It'd be really funny if they actually like made the structures amplified as well. Where's the... There it is. Ah, I didn't get the template. Or the armor trim, that's what it's called. Or I can do like a whole burnt peanut thing and just have it as a rock, as like a VTuber avatar. That would be kind of funny. uh, but yeah. Well, for my last segment of my stream, I do want to maybe do one other structure in this world. Do you have any good suggestions that wouldn't take too much time? Like Voltorb's pretty easy. Is there any good anime or video game references that would be pretty simple to build on a major scale? Just ignore this giant crack. There's nothing to see here. Let me fix this up. You know what? That is actually one of the ideas I had. So I think that would go perfect. Like the basic Kingdom Key Keyblade. Also, talking last Saturday, when I had no idea that there was a new trailer that dropped when you were talking about the anime and everything. And I got super excited when I saw that on YouTube. The whole Coco world for Kingdom Hearts. Man, I am so ready for Kingdom Hearts 4. All right, let's see. All right, where would be a good spot to place it? I think right there at an angle would look pretty good. I'm gonna go into my flat world real quick and I'm gonna just see how quick I can whip that up. Nice. I've never played it on PC, but I've played it on PlayStation. Let me just get some wool blocks for the different color variations, because I can always switch the colors with Axiom. Actually, speaking of Axiom, can I make a square? Yeah, there's a good chance that I'll be playing more on PC, because like my streaming is pretty limited. Because I play on PS5, but that's in a different room. So if I wanted to start streaming like games from my PlayStation, I would have to disconnect that. But I have, my PCs right here. Okay, I'm just. All right. I don't think I could figure out Axiom on stream. It's gonna take too long and be embarrassing. Oh, I could just make it on the ground and then flip it when uh yeah. I gotta think differently when I'm working with Axiom because it's using a different brain compared to survival. Because I'm like, okay, I gotta go get these resources and do this. But when it comes to Axiom, it's like, oh yeah, I don't have to worry about that. I just don't think about it. But yeah, I'm pretty jealous when watching Stan, just because if you like watch him for any length of time, he's very knowledgeable in Axiom and World Edit. And he's just like typing commands and whipping up things super fast. I'm like, holy cow. That's someday I would like to get there. I might have to pull up a reference at some point, but I know I've played Kingdom Hearts enough where I got the basic idea of how this is going to look. This big square. Yeah, well, good square. And then you got the actual key part. Gotta make it a little bit there. Oh, okay. I misclicked. Now it looks like a toy grab thing. Like the little things you get with the little levers. Okay. I think that's roughly kind of somewhat looks proportional. Little keychain. And I want to say it's like a Bit of a loop. I say this was going to be easy. This is going to take me an hour to make this. I'm pretty sure. I want to say these actually curve in. Not gonna lie, I have a giant foam keyblade that I bought many years ago at like a Comic-Con that I can definitely use as reference if I wanted to. Okay, it's going somewhere. Just get the thickness. So you said you played Kingdom Hearts. Have you beaten all the games, or are you kind of going through it your first time? Um, yeah. This is where the wool slabs and stairs would actually come in pretty handy. Because I've played most of the Kingdom Hearts franchise, but I haven't got all the achievements for all of them. That is something I definitely want to do someday. Oh wait, I'm using Axiom, and I learned that I could do this. Sweet. I love this mod. Oh, dang it. That's not what I meant to do. Let's make it more round. It is a handle. Oh, there's actually a blue section right around here that I remember. I feel like the actual like key section, the where the crown is going to be, might be a little challenging to do. might be able to do something there. I think these are holes. I want to add that here and take out the bottom part so that way it looks like it's a keychain. And turn off symmetry. Actually, let me bird eye view it. It's like drawing with a mouse. This is terrible. Here's roughly where it would be. Ooh, goodness. It's looking like the kingdom key. Ooh, actually, symmetry would actually work pretty well if this is. If I can get it set up correctly. Is that the right distance? Nope. Okay. It needs to go slightly over. Yeah, there we go. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, like angled this way? Because I know it makes like a crown. I think I got my crown maybe backwards. All right. I'm going to pull up a reference on my second screen. Okay, yep, I see exactly what you're talking about. I want to say there's a way, at least, you know, the guy we were talking about, Stan, to put like reference images into Minecraft. I don't know if it was like through Axiom, but if so, I should definitely learn how to do that. Either that or the bare minimum, learn how to have like a little overlay or something on OBS. because one of my favorite referencing tools that I use for art is like PureRev, and that would be a perfect thing to use. Oh, that's not going to give me much room. Okay, let me look at it from this angle. Clean this up. Huh. I think I can go a little bit bigger because I'm running out of room. Let me just do that. This kind of feels like drawing like an old-fashioned Etch-a-Sketch. Okay. Kind of get the overall design. Also trying to float in the right angle to get exactly what I want. It's a learning curve. And it'd be really handy if I could like put stairs on their side. I think that would unlock so many building opportunities if you can put stairs on their side. Okay. Well, that's gonna have to do for now. Yeah. What do you think would be more revolutionary, sideways stairs or sideways slabs? Because I would almost argue sideways stairs for me personally. I found more uses for that personally. But I know slabs are definitely a lot of people's favorite. I think it, like for stairs, it adds a lot of curvature because then you can start, like for instance, this right here is I'm wanting it to be like a ball essentially. I think stairs could definitely shape those out, and right here to have that little bit more of a curvature. Okay, then I'm gonna pop this bottom layer off. Gotta be careful, I got infinite reach on and I could possibly break my builds in the distance. Yeah, yeah, like Coliseum columns, making them with sideways. Oh, did I go too far? Yeah, I did. Sideways stairs would be really cool. Okay, that is not the best way to do that, but I think it works for now. There's probably some other blocks I could use. But for a good trial run, I think this works. Oh, I definitely see a section I was missing. Oh, this would be a perfect spot for the slabs. You just put them right here to give a little bit more of a curvature. And then, oh, for that little blue section, I know this is not this right blue, but it gives that little blue part. Then I think the handle needs to be slightly darker, which I think now I can go into Axiom and one tool, replace, let's go Blackstone. It only replaces, or would fill, would it be fill? Yeah, yeah, okay, sweet, sweet. And this, actually, make sure I'm not clicking anything else. Obviously needs to be gold. Or would gold blocks actually not look great? I mean, it's got the shine, but actually from a distance, it's not too bad. Ooh, I just noticed looking at the reference, it actually goes up a little, which I think we can. Ooh, I still got symmetry turned on. I need to turn that off. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Well, anyway, that does That works well for a concept. And I think I'm just going to keep that as gray wool for now. Let's try to select the entire model and see how it looks. Oh, no, that's ugh, still learning. I wish I could just like absorb knowledge and skills and just instantly know how to use everything. That would be amazing, but we don't live like that. It takes time and practice. Come on. Oh, there I go. I got it. All right, let's see if this looks good at all. Where was that? I think if I just now have it. So when you rotate things in Axiom at not a 90-degree angle, it obviously distorts it. So there could be a pretty big mess up. So I'm curious what it would look like if I... Ooh. Ooh, I like that. And just have like a keyblade in the distance. I need to turn the day and night cycle off in this world. Okay, time, set, day. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. How does it look close? Yeah, I did. It's not too bad. I mean, the little blue section I would have to definitely rework. But for a concept, yeah. You know, if I try to make some content out of this would be a killer thumbnail. Just like get it at a certain angle, get like my Minecraft character in a certain position. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Well, I think that's what about wraps up my stream for today. Thank you for joining. I stream on Tuesday nights and Saturday mornings. I mean, depending on where you are, those times might vary. But yeah, join me as I do some more stuff with Minecraft like this, creative builds, and thank you for just giving me your time. Enjoy the rest of your week and your day. Have a good one.